know about y'all, but I cannot be bothered with sensitivity. I'm not talking about people who get teary-eyed when they see a cute baby animal. I'm one of those people, all right? I'm in that category. I'm talking about sensitive skin. Burning, stinging, flushing, redness. You're all excited about a new skincare product only to put it on and all of a sudden your face turns red. It's like, ugh, why am I this way? My skin loses water more readily. I'm prone to dryness, peeling. This could be for any number of reasons. Maybe you've overdone it with skincare, exfoliants. Maybe you're using a medication, one that you take by mouth or one that you put on your skin that has left you more sensitive. Maybe you have an underlying skin condition like rosacea or atopic dermatitis that makes you a bit more inclined to sensitivity. Or maybe you have just been enjoying a little bit too much unprotected or suboptimally protected fun in the sun. Ultraviolet radiation, it damages the outermost layers, protective components, leaving you a lot more vulnerable to sensitivity, redness, etc. An important player in reducing the symptoms of sensitivity, helping the skin barrier get back on track to limit transepidermal water loss and get you some relief is consistent use of a moisturizer. But not just any moisturizer. You want to choose a moisturizer that is free of common irritants like fragrance essential oils. And moisturizers with ceramides, cholesterol, lipids can be great for helping your skin get back on track. Many moisturizers have antioxidants that help reduce inflammation, also can be very helpful. Korean skincare really leans heavily into the barrier repair category of things. The Korean skincare market has some amazing options for sensitive skin facial moisturizer. Now, the Aestura Ado Barrier 365 cream, what the heck is in this? Well, it's got these little beads of ceramides, lipids, that when you put the cream out on your finger, you're like, oh my gosh, is this an exfoliating scrub? Oh, no. As you swipe it over your skin, those little beads melt in to release the ceramides, the lipids, the barrier supporting ingredients. The product is free of fragrance, does have, as I pointed out in my original video, niacinamide, which is a new addition to this moisturizer. Niacinamide is a great ingredient to pursue if you have sensitive skin because it's helpful for the needs of the skin barrier. It's an antioxidant. It has anti-redness properties, but some people don't get along well with it. It actually aggravates their symptoms of sensitivity. So a lot of people were using the original formula of this, loving it, and then they switched it up, added the niacinamide in there, and suddenly it was completely off the table. You'll recall from my video reviewing this that I found the product to be fine, great, actually really enjoyed it. However, I did find it to be a bit heavy on the emollient properties, meaning it was a bit shiny, and I felt like if you have really oily skin, this might be one where you're like, thanks, but no thanks. And I saw a lot of comments too of people saying, yeah, the original formula was less emollient, less shiny, I liked it better. But in that video, the top comment had the most thumbs up, was like, yeah, Aestura, but for me personally, it's actually going to be the Illiyoon. Several years ago, I bought this product and really liked it. It's the Ceramide Ado Concentrate Cream. And they have since, of course, tweaked the formula around a bit. And so your comment reminded me, hey, I need to give that a try again. So this one, as a side note, Aestura and Illiyoon, they are both under the umbrella of Amore Pacific. They're in the same family, if you will. The Illiyoon product also has those little pearl-like beads that release ceramides into the skin. The Ceramide Ado Complex, which is basically a blend of ceramides in these tiny little capsules, also has fatty acids and cholesterol. No niacinamide in the Illiyoon one. If you are sensitive to niacinamide, that would be where you would want to direct your attention if you're considering either of these. Claims to offer 100 hours of hydration. It does offer very good long-lasting skin moisturization, I will say that, because I have used it as a final step in my skincare routine one night and then didn't use a nighttime moisturizer other than my tretinoin cream for the next several nights and was perfectly fine. My face did not fall off. So it really does keep the skin nice and hydrated and moisturized. Panthenol. A lot of these products have panthenol. Panthenol is another B vitamin that is water loving, helps improve water content in your skin, which is very helpful actually for getting your barrier back on track, for healing the skin barrier, and for reducing ultimately the symptoms of sensitivity, which are often a manifestation of an impaired skin barrier. All of these products we're talking about today, just so I don't keep repeating myself, are free of fragrance. Now, the Illiyoon product is a rich, creamy texture similar to the Aestura one, but a lot less emollient. So I think if you have oily to combination skin, you might actually lean more towards preferring just the feel of the Illiyoon one. The Illiyoon one one you can get in a variety of different sizes too. You can get a big jar of it, which I really like having a large volume, because not only is this great for the face, but it's a great body moisturizer as well. And a note about these little beads, you don't really feel them on the skin. I felt them a bit more with the Aestura one, I should say, but the Illiyoon one, you don't really feel them, and they're not difficult to dissolve into the skin. Like as you're rubbing it on, they disappear very quickly. If you're trying to decide between those two, because they are pretty similar, I would say, A, are you someone who does not get along with niacinamide? In which case, go with the Illiyoon one. Are you someone who really likes something that's very emollient, more of an oily feel? Go with the Aestura one. Moving on though, I want to talk about one I have not talked about before. I've been trying it out over the past several weeks, and it's from a brand that I have really been enjoying their toner this past year so far. It's Celamax. They have a dual barrier skin wearable cream. This is another rich moisturizer with ceramides. It has hyaluronic acid and glycerin. Those are great for improving water content in your skin. Panthenol, again, that B vitamin that's very hydrating. Allantoin is quite soothing, so for people with sensitive skin, that can be very comforting and help to a certain extent with reducing redness. I often emphasize that we should not be going into our kitchen and putting stuff that we find in our pantry and our refrigerator on our face. An example of that is olive oil. Olive oil is wonderful. It has plenty of antioxidants, makes food taste good, but if you go into your kitchen and you put olive oil on the skin as a moisturizer, it's actually been shown to increase water loss, which ultimately can worsen the symptoms of sensitivity. However, olive oil can be used as an ingredient in products, provided it is in a product that has been formulated to contain moisturizing ingredients. This is not an issue, and you can derive the benefits of the antioxidants in olive oil and also moisturize your skin and improve transepidermal water loss. So just something to keep in mind. Olive oil in skincare, good. Olive oil from your pantry, not something that I recommend using as your DIY skincare. This line from Celamax has this peptide called Aquatide, which allegedly helps to improve the expression of certain components of the autophagy pathway, which is sort of like a recycling, it's a self-eating pathway where cells recycle damaged organelles, and it plays a role in healing and recovery. So that's intriguing. At any rate, it's a peptide, and they can help to also improve water content in your skin barrier. And again, that's going to be very helpful in the long run for skin barrier issues. This is, of course, a richer cream in terms of texture, but it almost has a hint of a whipped-like consistency. It melts into the skin easily. It does not feel too oily or too heavy, but it is nice and rich. So if you're someone who is either oily or combination, I think you would be fine with this as a night cream for your skin barrier. It's got ceramides, panthenol, allantoin. The tube has a lengthy tip for dispensing the product. You can apply it to the skin with some finesse. So wanted to point that out. It's just kind of a unique feature of this tube in comparison to the others. Great for the face. Haven't really tried using this on the body, although I don't have reason to believe it wouldn't be good there, but could kind of get a little on the pricey side using it that way. Anua is a brand that I discovered around the time I got the Korean Advent calendars. Remember I reviewed the tranexamic acid product with the B12, really like that. I have worked with this company over on my Instagram talking about their azelaic acid serum, which is also great. But this ceramide 3 panthenol cream, you guys, I was really drawn to this because it's got an ingredient that I've talked about in videos here and there, but has gained a lot of interest amongst consumers. It's called ectoin. Ectoin is described as an extremolite. It's something that is produced by microorganisms to allow them to survive extreme conditions. There's actually a decent amount of research behind this ingredient showing that it's helpful for wound healing and perhaps for defending against some of the aggressors that we're exposed to, like pollution and sunlight, which again are damaging to our skin barrier. And ectoin also is soothing and helps with moisturizing the skin. So this product has ectoin in it. It also has compounds from centella, which are helpful for reducing inflammation and may support barrier healing. And of course, it's got ceramides as well as hyaluronic acid, and it has a variety of amino acids, which really help with moisture retention. Amino acids are naturally found in your skin barrier and help with retaining water. And it has panthenol. No niacinamide in this. Based on just reading the ingredients and on having a good experience with their serums, I was like, oh, I need to try this. this, and I have not been disappointed with this at all. Now, in contrast to the other moisturizers I've talked about, this one feels a lot more hydrating. It's a sensory difference in the experience of using it compared to the others, because you almost feel like you're getting a little burst of hydration, sort of towing the line of a gel cream. Gels often have that hydrating burst-like feel, whereas creams are more like shield-like feel. This feels a bit more like a gel cream, but it is also a rich, thick cream. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. I think if you have oily skin, you would like this. It does not end up feeling oily on the skin or oppressive. It's a great option. I've really enjoyed it. And as a side note, these moisturizers you can use as eye creams. Can be very helpful for reducing eyelid dermatitis due to maybe a contact dermatitis. You're looking to heal the barrier. These are all great options. The other one you guys have seen me use who watch my vlogs, and you get a sneak peek behind the scenes on what I'm testing out and using. This is Physiogel. Now, this one's not new to me. It's a repurchase for me. Physiogel, made in Japan, but a Korean brand, I guess. The Calming Relief Redness Relieving Facial Cream. This is another rich cream for the face. Like Celamax, this also has olive oil, so antioxidants. But there's no niacinamide in this or any sort of real botanic extract. And I point that out because oftentimes the anti-redness marketed moisturizers will have niacinamide and or licorice root, and those are great for redness reducing purposes, but some people are sensitive to those ingredients and they end up aggravating the redness for them. This has ceramides, and it also has glycerin, and it has squalane, an emollient. Now, this product is a lot more emollient. It kind of reminds me, as far as the final finish, of the Aestura one. If you like that real glossy appearance, or you don't mind it, I should say, then you'll really like this. It's a great option in general for people who are dealing with sensitivity, but it's marketed for people who have eczema. Like, it's got the eczema seal of approval. You know, that I wouldn't marry myself to necessarily. If you have eczema, like, does it have to have that seal? But it is another layer of reassurance that this is free of common aggravating ingredients for eczema. I have really enjoyed this, and I'm glad I repurchased it. Also, as a side note, I already mentioned these are great around the eyes, but take them down to the neck. They're excellent neck creams. You know, some brands have their own neck cream. You know, that's something that you can side eye if you want, but a lot of neck creams actually do end up being really good as far as providing deep hydration and reducing water loss and plumping up those little fine necklines and improving the appearance of the neck. But these will get you there. They will get you there for healthier looking neck skin. And the neck is an area that's really vulnerable to barrier impairment because the skin is thin there and it's exposed a lot. You know, a lot of people forget to put sunscreen on their neck. Don't do that. Or they're using like perfume on the neck, which can be irritating, and they can get themselves into a barrier issue, and consistent moisturizing can help things get back on track. The last one I want to talk about with you guys is one that kind of surprised me. Unlike everyone else here at the party, this Purito Mighty Bamboo Panthenol cream does not have ceramides. So that's just a little difference. This does have niacinamide if you're sensitive. Purito actually sent this to me. They sent me 2 bottles of it. And at first I was like, oh, okay, cool, a fragrance-free moisturizer. Let's try it out. And I was like, wow, I actually really like the way this looks and performs on the skin. I used it on my face nightly for about 3 weeks, and then I tried using it on the body, and I was like, wow, can we get this in a large pump bottle or a large jar? Because it ended up being a really good body moisturizer for me. Cost-wise, that's impractical, but it really did help quite a bit with improving the appearance of the skin, not only on my face, but on my body. Panthenol, like most of these do, compounds from centella, which are, again, anti-inflammatory and help with healing and recovery. It has copper tripeptide 1 in it, which is a peptide that shows promise for improving wound healing, but again, with the caveat that peptides, you know, they likely help with improving water content in the skin. The whole marketing around this is the bamboo extract. Bamboo extract may be rich in amino acids. Again, those help with moisture retention, but I don't know, that's not the jazziest feature about this. For me, it's a great, no-nonsense, fragrance-free facial moisturizer that really actually looks good on the skin. It's not oily emollient, but it gives the skin that kind of gloss, and it helps lubricate the skin surface. So really good on the neck where you have a lot more friction that can contribute to barrier issues. Friction like rubbing of a necklace like this, for example, or a scarf in the winter time. Here are some distinguishing features amongst these. Are you sensitive to niacinamide? If you are, you're going to want to avoid the Aestura one and the Purito one. Do you have problems with ceramides in skincare? If so, maybe consider the Purito one. It's the only one here without about them. Do you live in an urban environment with a lot of pollution? If so, consider the Anua one. It's got that ectoin in there, which may help cut down on some of that damage. How do you use these? These would work well as the last step of your nighttime skincare routine to moisturize the skin and help soothe it. Now, you could also use these in the morning to your face if you find your skin is still a bit dry. But I will remind you guys that sunscreens are also moisturizers. They also work to help with the skin barrier. Some people like to use a moisturizer in addition to the sunscreen that they're using. A word of warning though, a lot of sunscreens will end up pilling over thicker, richer creams that you have on your face. If you apply a thick, rich cream, allow it to dry, and then try and put sunscreen on, many times you might get sunscreen pilling. And if you're like, yeah, why does that happen? How do I avoid it? Watch my recent video on how to prevent this from happening, because I break it down even further there. So if that's happening to you a lot, I don't suggest putting a facial moisturizer on first, especially one that's richer like this. But you're like, yeah, but I feel like I need a little something. Try a hydrating, moisturizing toner. That's another way to kind of get around the pilling issue while also adding some additional moisturizing ingredients in your morning routine. All right, y'all. So that is a roundup. Let me know in the comments, have you tried any of these? Is one of them like your holy grail? There are so many excellent Korean moisturizers out there. I hope this roundup and review was helpful for those of you who were considering one of these, you're dealing with sensitivity. I have a lot of videos here about how to deal with sensitive skin, so definitely check those out. One of my big overarching tips is to keep your routine minimal, just using cleanser, sunscreen, and moisturizer. And any of these would be great moisturizers, especially to apply at nighttime, because at night our skin is more inclined to lose more water, and ultimately that contributes to worsening of the symptoms of sensitivity in the long run. All right, y'all, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.